Hey guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Today's video I decided to finish putting together and upload a video about the tweeter pods that I've been doing for my project Legacy. Some of you guys will know, some of you may not. I have been in the process of making tweeter pods for mounting, for installing my Focal PS165F3. At the moment I currently have PS165FX, which are a two-way system, and I want to upgrade to a three-way system, so I'm making custom tweeter pods to mount the tweeters on, and the 3-inch mid-ranges will go where the tweeters are currently now, at the top of the dash. But I started this project quite a while ago and then did a bunch of stuff on it and then made more videos, procrastination happened, other jobs happened. I ended up not really finishing it, and I was hoping to do it all in one big long video showing you the start to end finish, but I decided that it's been such a long time now that you guys have seen really anything to do with the tweeters that I might as well just make this video here and keep you guys basically in the loop with where I'm at. So I guess I'll split it up into a couple of different parts. So most of this video is filmed between in March. Actually, from the 12th of March is the first clip, and the last clip was filmed on the 21st of March. So mid to late March this was filmed. It's now like June, so it was a while ago. Like, I've done a bunch of stuff since then. Obviously I've done the main thing was the subwoofer, and that kind of got in the way of this, but I am still, the plan hasn't changed. I am still hoping to do this. I've just had a lot on my plate and procrastinated a wee bit, if I'm honest, and haven't gotten around to finishing doing the sanding and priming and resanding process. It's not something I enjoy, so I do procrastinate. I'm sorry, I can't help that. I do need to get onto it though. But yeah, anyway, that's just a quick little intro letting you know why I'm releasing this video now, why it's not finished. You will see it finished hopefully sometime soon in the future, but for the sake of keeping you guys in the loop, here's what I've got so far for the tweeter pods. Good morning guys, how's it going? It's James here from Audio.etc. Sorry about the audio again in this video. It is absolutely bucketing down on our aluminium roof, so you may not be able to hear me for some of it. Sorry about that. But today I am going to try and do some tweeter cup mounting. So let me explain how I'm going to do this. It's probably slightly different than anything you guys have ever seen before, because like I say, I'm not a huge fiberglass expert. So if you haven't been watching my previous videos, basically I want to mount my tweeters on this triangular pod thing here. I've already got the grills up there, but that's where I want my mid-ranges to go, my Focal 3-inch mid-ranges, and I want the tweeters to be here and there, both on axis pointing straight at me. So I've got a Focal tweeter cup, and I've made up this wooden cup as well, which this fits perfect, like just sits perfectly into, like that. So obviously I want this to be sort of about, I think I have to decide whether I like them low, middle or high. I think I definitely prefer them middle. Low just looks a bit weird, and so does high. So in the middle-ish, like that, pointing up towards my face. And I'm not fiberglassing them like everyone else does their pods. This is both a test to see if this method can work for us in the future, and also hopefully going to be an easier way for me to do it, since I'm not a huge expert at working with fiberglass or any of that sort of stuff. Let me show you what I'm going to try and do. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this or not, but I've got 6 of these Sally's Need It tubes. So this is Sally's Need It. Basically it's like a 2-part putty, where it's got, like, you know, the majority of the putty around the outside, and then a stick of the what would you call it, a catalyst or activator down the middle, and you just kind of like knead it up with your hands like blue tack, and it starts to activate and set, and it's like fileable and sandable and all that sort of stuff. So the idea is going to be to try and make these entire pods out of this putty stuff. Essentially it's like making them out of PlayDough, which then hardens. So it's probably a wee bit out there. We're not sure how it's going to work, but it'd be good to know if we can do this sort of thing in the future, because it's quite easy to work with, like with your hands and that. So what I think I want to do is get my pen, because I've masked this one off. Just need to draw on there where the thing goes. There we go. In fact, I could probably go a wee bit in further than that. So what I think I need to do is take a piece of this putty, like a blue tack ball size sort of piece, and then just get this and just sort of like stick that on there. And basically the idea is to try and get that stuck so that it's in position, it dries, it sets, and then I can take this pod off and start adding more in behind it and slowly building it up and sanding it and just adding it layer by layer. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to start with the driver's one, see how I go. Maybe I'll get the passenger's one mounted as well, I'm not sure. I need to see how well this stuff works, because one thing we're not really sure about is whether or not this is actually going to bond to the panel and to the wood or not, or if it's just going to become a shape. I'm not sure. Multi-purpose, needed range, surfaces, almost anything. Ideal for filling holes, gaps, dents, cracks, rebuild, replace knobs, handles, rotting wood, attach fixtures and signs, anchor loose screws, seal leaks and gutters. So like it's chemical, so that's the idea, like it doesn't dry until you mix it with its catalyst or its activator. So let's, I'll hop in and try and show you a wee bit. Now I do know, if you guys know what this is, that this comes in a 110 gram stick. This one here. The place that I got this off, because I got it through a work contact at a really good price, they didn't have the 110 gram ones of these, but the 50 gram ones were super cheap, so I just bought a whole bunch of them. So if I just take that lid off, as you can see just by looking at it, it's pretty much just a wrapped up piece of squishy Play-Doh. I don't want to squish it too much because it has got the catalyst inside of it, but I'm hoping I can start with maybe something maybe a third of the size of this stick, just as a blue tack piece, which I can just sort of stick this on there with, and then after that is set, I can take the panel back off and start adding more to it. And I've got 6 of these, so I've got 3 per side to work with. I think that should be enough. Okay, so here we go guys, I cut the stick that I had there in half, and as you can see, the majority of it on the inside there is the different colour, and you basically just sort of start kneading this together to make it one sort of colour. And I'm hoping, I mean, I don't even know if this is going to work guys, I'm just going to have a go at it. So I first need to figure out how I want to do this. I don't want it to be right and flat like that because it's facing downwards. It needs to be, if my head is back here, centered on it, so I think I need to put a piece of the putty at like this top section here. I think in the middle is best as well because it'll make it much easier for transitioning it from this shape to that shape with the rest of the material. So in the middle, so once it's gotten warm, that's when it's ready. Okay, oh I can smell it already. Yeah. Ooh, it stinks. My hands are feeling pretty sticky already. I'm just trying to do like the old blue tack twist and press method. Getting there, we're almost one colour. Oh yeah, I think we're almost there. Almost one colour now. Hey guys, I've got myself a really sticky piece of blue tack. Let's close this up. Sort of stick this around there. Jeez, it's tall. Okay, now I just want to sort of smush this on here around about the middle. It's sticking really good, so that's nice. I want to make sure it's in at least all the way at the top. Now, is this pointing at me? This is cool because I can like change the angle and stuff of it while I'm working with it. So if my seat is sitting back here, that is pointing dead at my face. Dead straight. I love it. Just make sure that's pushed in all the way. Vertically we're center. Definitely not in the way of the window, obviously. This can still open and close. That's cool. Hey Grant, have a look. Actually, this could angle up a wee bit. That's looking good. Pointing straight at me. Even if this doesn't work for the majority of the body filler, it's actually a really good way to get the tweeter cup itself in place, I think. Pointing in the right direction. Okay, so that's good. So, we just have to hope it doesn't want to move at all. I think what I might do is, since this is in place now, might just carefully hold it there and sort of knead this deeper in, like that. Need the window down, back in. Make sure it's still pointing straight at me. Cool, I'm happy with that one. Hardens in 5 to 10 minutes. And then as Grant says, fully cures over, did you say 24 hours? It's hard in an hour. 5 to 10 minutes, it will harden, begin to form a strong bond. 60 minutes, maybe drilled, sanded, machined, filed, sawed, or painted. So now once this one's like hardened after an hour, I can take that off there and get more of it and just start layering it in there like Play-Dough and sort of just sculpting a shape bit by bit. Sweet, so we'll let that harden, and I think in maybe 30 minutes I'll try and take it off the door and start adding some more on, see what I can do. Maybe in the time being I could do the passengers one. So what I might do now is mask up the passengers door and try and get the passengers one mounted. There we go. That one's setting now. So I might just go give my hands a quick wash. They haven't got anything on them, but they just feel sticky, like there's a residue. So I'll go get them a wash and I'll come back to these in about 30 minutes. They should be hard and set. I can take them off the car and start adding more to the body of them. Okay, so here it is from my perspective. So you can see here, this one is looking pretty much straight at us. If we come around, so is that one. So yeah, I intentionally wanted them to be asymmetrical, which makes it easier for making them because I don't have to worry about them looking exactly the same. As long as they're in the same sort of height position, I'm happy, but I wanted the tweeters themselves to be dead, like straight on axis to my face. That's cool. As I say, I'll go wash my hands. I need to hold you back here, don't I, because it's on narrow. So I'll go wash my hands and we'll leave them to dry. Okay guys, they're pretty much dry. Got it off the car. So if I put it under the light here, you can see it's actually gone completely hard now. So that's good. So now, I might put you on a time lapse. What I need to do is get some more of that putty, the need it, and just start sort of layering this underside and start building it out. And once that's all done, maybe, who knows, maybe I'll body filler it. I'm not sure really what I'm gonna do. But this is, I think, the ideal way to get these pods in the right position facing me. So let's try a time lapse with that, I think. There we go guys, I got one pretty much done. Obviously it's not finished, but it's bogged, well, not bogged, you know what I mean, it's kneaded, it's all molded. It's still drying, like I can still put my fingernail into it kind of, but I'm gonna leave this to fully cure overnight, at which point I'll be able to sand it smooth. Once it's sanded smooth, I can paint it over with like some quite good thick etch primer. Once that's dried, I can sand it even smoother again, and then after that it's like just paint and mounting and everything like that. Obviously at some point this will have to pop back off this panel here so I can take the tape off, and then I will like secure it with either some epoxy or maybe a couple screws from behind, and then it's just a matter of drilling some holes for a mounting screw and a speaker wire hole. Let's I've already tested it, and it does still go in the car pretty decent. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. It's pretty ugly at the moment, but once it's all finished, I reckon it's going to look good. And I finally figured out how this actually has to go on without making a nasty mark. So you put the back end on first, I think, like that, and then it pops on like that. Sweet. So that goes like that. That's looking pretty. I mean, it's ugly at the moment, yes, but it's good. Pardon me. It's going to look good once it's all finished up. I think I quite like the positioning. Here's the tweeter cup. This just goes there, and then the tweeter goes in there. Sweet. I'm happy. A lot of sanding to do, but that's tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is the other side, like that. Another time lapse, hopefully a bit quicker this time. I only used, so initially I used half a stick for sticking it on there, and then I used another whole tube, and then I used about another third of a tube. So all up that's 1 plus 1.5 plus a third. So that's like 1.8 tubes, and I had enough for 3 on each side. So I'm gonna have spare, which is good, I'm not gonna run out. So I'll just leave that on there, I think, to dry. The window still clears it easily. What's up? So now let's do that one. Not sure how much I'm gonna need for this one, because obviously it's a different shape, but let's try and get this off without it popping off, please. Might have to use 2 hands for this. Actually works better if you pop it from the front around like that rather than, yeah, that's better. Now I need to fill in this whole area under here. All that. So we'll go back to time lapse now. Okay, there we go guys, there's the passengers one pretty much done. It's not set yet, but it's got the shape going on there. Let's go test it. Go that way first, it's easier. It's on, cool. Pretty decent. Bit of sanding should be right. If the door close. Nice. Still closes. Window's definitely got clearance. That's gonna be good. And from over here, yeah, that's definitely in line. Cool. That's gonna be good. So I'll leave those there now. Oh, let's get the little tweeter cup. It sits in just there. Nice. Looks good. I'm happy, so those need to dry now overnight. Then tomorrow I can take them back off. In fact, I might as well just leave them off the car now so they don't deal with all the vibrations and shit in the car. And then tomorrow I will sand them down smooth as I can, get rid of all the lumps and bumps. After that it'll be that etch primer stuff, sand that again. After that it'll probably be like spray on primer and then paint. That's looking good. I'm happy. They look pretty neat. Cool. Okay guys, so now both of the pods are sanded up pretty much to shape. A couple of high spots here and there that we'll get rid of in a wee bit, but I reckon I'll be able to, you know, carve most of that out on the second lot of sanding. But what I'm going to do now is do a layer of this acrylic primer filler. So it's a primer and a filler all in one. I've got it on this vise here, which is sort of propped on a 45-ish degree angle so they sit relatively vertical for drying them. I'm trying to decide whether I should just paint them on like this, paint them on the vise, or if I should, you know, hand hold them and like paint them that way. But the reason so what you'll see here is I've unmasked all of it off except for a piece here. Took off all the original masking and remasked off this section after I cleaned it, because the paint is actually going to go all the way down and onto the black here to smooth out the transition between the filler and the plastic. And then once it's all dry and done and sanded, this masking tape will peel off and there'll be a nice straight line of really thin paint transitioning from the, you know, the primer to the plastic. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long. I'll try and give these a quick paint. I'm pretty happy with the shapes that they are now. Just a couple of low points that need filling in with this primer stuff. Okay, there we go guys, that was nice and quick. They're painted up. I quite like using this stuff actually. I think I may even do a second layer, because you put it on real thick and you can probably tell by looking at it, it's already like pretty much not dry, not hard, but it's gone like, you know, that kind of tackiness where paint's now more like paste or glue. So it goes on and sets pretty quick, which is good, and it's sandable as well. So the good thing is I can just kind of, for the final stages, just layer this on and resand it again. That's pretty decent. I may at some point, maybe just for this one, because that transition's pretty good, but this one's a wee bit sharp just under here. Maybe for one of the final layers I'll sort of lie this down that way a bit more and load a bit more into that corner just a wee bit. But they're looking pretty good. I'm happy with them. I'm going to let them dry probably overnight. I think it's like towards the end of the afternoon here today, so I'll let them dry overnight so I can sand them when I get some more free time, probably tomorrow. But obviously overnight it'll dry easy peasy. So I'm going to leave them to sit there and they can dry. So that'll probably be it from me today. I'll catch you tomorrow. Okay guys, here's where the tweeter pods are at with their primer and stuff on them. I did that first coat of primer, and then I can't remember if I filmed it or not, but I did a second layer of the filler primer, but all I did was painted it on this transition here from the body to the flat piece, because I wanted to really make that a clean, smooth transition rather than a sharp edge. And I did obviously the same on this one, so you can pretty much see the line there where I did my second kind of layer. So now comes even more sanding. Hate sanding. quick update with the pods before I go home. I've been doing wet, dry sanding, whatever you want to call it. I've been doing wet sanding all day, pretty much on these things, trying to smooth them out, and it works with this filler stuff so nicely. Like, this is super smooth. Oh my god, it feels great. But this one, I don't know if you guys can see it, but just there in the corner, I don't know why, but there was like a thicker patch of filler there, of what do you call it, primer there, and for some reason overnight it hadn't fully dried, so it's a wee bit still soft. I can put my fingernail into it, so I'm going to leaving this to dry a bit more under the heat just for a wee bit, and then I'll sand this come next week when I get time. This one I managed to get completely done though, and it's I've now given it a few coats of, you know, just spray on prime, which is also sandable and a very thin filler. So I'm starting to get down to that stage now where I can fill in the tiny little air bubble holes or imperfections with the spray primer, dry sand it again hopefully, well I don't know, maybe not, sand it back, put another layer on, and then maybe try a coat of black, see how it looks, give it a sand. Basically, if any of you have done fabrication before, I'm sure you'll all know this, the way with this stuff is that you just have to sand, relayer, sand, relayer, sand, relayer over and over again until you've got it exactly right to the point where you can then give it your final primer coat, paint coat and clear coat, and then they go in. So that's where I'm at now. This is drying, this is hardening still somehow. I'll get more time to finish sanding this next week, and then it will get to priming stage like that. That's where I'm at. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as I got. As I said at the beginning of the video, that was filmed in sort of late March. It's now June, so it's been a while since I've worked on them. I do still have them. They just need a few more layers of priming and sanding and then paint and finish, and once that's done, it can go in the car. I can get the new set of speakers, run the wires and install them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are now all happy to be in the loop with where I'm at with the tweeters. Unfortunately, as I said, I couldn't make it a whole video because that would have meant drawing this out even longer. I promise I will try and get onto the Twitter pod soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Please remember to share these videos with your friends. I really want to see this channel blow up to like 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be awesome. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Choose to be happy, and I'll catch you in the next video.